Hello, just want to share a few thoughts with you about the Falcon Pipe. I bought it recently and really been happy with it. One of the best things about this pipe is that hole right there in the bottom of the bowl. Whoever came up with this idea came up with a really great idea. That hole in the bottom of that bowl makes it so that all of the moisture, and I'll just show you this, in the bottom of the bowl you place a one of these dry rings, and that dry ring, they come in a little pack like that, or you can make them yourself out of just pipe cleaners. But that little ring in the bottom picks up all of the moisture and keeps it out of the tobacco. And the tobacco burns down. Now, I didn't smoke this one quite as far down, I don't believe. I think there may just be a smidgen of tobacco in there. Let's see. I mean, it is literally just nothing. But you can smoke that down to absolute nothing if you want it to. One more puff and it would have been gone. And that really is quite an innovation for a pipe, because with briar pipes, in my experience, I have found that there's always like a little bit of tobacco at the very bottom that you just don't want to, I don't want to smoke. And because it's you know, it's soaked in all the moisture, everything kind of drains down on top of it, and it changes the flavor in the end, and I just don't want to smoke it. And so I end up, you know, leaving that little bit in the bottom and just tossing it out when I clean my pipe. Not so with the Falcon Pipe. With the Falcon Pipe, you're getting every bit of the tobacco. You're going to smoke every bit of it. You know, here I had just a tiny bit, but it's only because I stopped smoking in terms because I had something going on. But every time I've smoked it down to the very bottom. And that's great. And why is that so great? That's great because when you think about it, you know, tobacco prices are going up all the time, and being able to get your money's worth out of tobacco and not throwing any away is just I think we would all like that and want that. But and if you think about it over the years, however many years you've been smoking, and if you've done like me, you've just thrown that last little bit out every time you've smoked, and if you were somehow to be able to measure that amount over a 10-year time period, I think you'd be surprised of how much tobacco you end up throwing away over time. Now, you know, before I never really thought about it and didn't really bother me. And to be honest, it don't really bother me a whole lot now. But with this pipe, I feel a lot more frugal, and I feel like I'm being more conservative. You know, when a tin of tobacco is costing you now somewhere here in the US, 15 bucks, overseas, Canada, Australia, outrageous amounts. The Falcon Pipe becomes a real money saver over time. And it's also super practical. It's very easy to clean. These bows, they just screw on, they screw off. Doesn't matter if it's hot, you can take that bowl off, because the bowl, it might get a little warm, but it's never, it's not like, it's to that design keeps everything fairly cool. I've heard people say, well, these get really hot. They can at times get hot, but I think a lot of that has to do with how you pack it and how you're puffing, what your cadence is. Are you in the wind? Are you out of the wind? But in terms of me just sitting down at night, either outside on the porch here or in the house, just sitting and enjoying a smoke, it hasn't gotten hot. A little warm, but not hot at all. And so that to me is it's a very nice pipe. And it's the nicest thing about it is it's very easy to clean. You just take out that little ring, and it does get pretty dirty, as you can see, and you just get rid of that, and you get a paper towel and you swab out the inside. You take a paper towel, swab out the inside of that, and you're ready to go. And voila, it's clean. You might shine it up a little bit, but just for matter of example, I just want to show you that. Then you got this, which you will just take out that little ring. It's awful nasty. Get rid of that. Take another paper towel, wipe out the inside. You just wipe it out and it's clean. Take a pipe cleaner, run it through. It's a little dirty, mostly right at the tip there, right at the end. Run through one more time. And then you put your new ring back in. Your new ring goes right back in, like so. Let me show that in the camera a little better. I was turning it so I could see it, but for matters of example, you want to see it. You see that little piece of wire goes into the hole there, into the stem itself. I have to look at it, I'm afraid. And if you get one, you'll know exactly what it's really easy. Goes right in there. Then you have a clean bowl ready with tobacco. And voila, ready to smoke. And you know, I smoked one out of this not so long ago. No problem, it's clean, no aftertaste from anything. That bowl has been resting, and now I'm ready to be used again. This one will go on a rest, and two different style bowls. This one I like a little bit better. I like that style a little bit better because it's wider, larger diameter. This one's a little smaller diameter, but they're still both great little bowls. Nothing to complain about. I'll get this started and I'll be right back. So the Falcon Pipe, I have really come to enjoy it. It's a great practical pipe. It's very cool when you smoke it. You can smoke all of the tobacco down. The tobacco stays dry, the moisture stays here in the bottom. It's a great little pipe for that. So what are some of the downsides though? One of the downsides I would say is you either do or you don't like that metal stem. Some people do, many people don't. I kind of like it. I have the shillelagh, which just means you have this twisted on the outside and you have a colored pipe on the inside. They come in a lot of different colors. They don't make them anymore. I found this on eBay. A guy in Estonia was selling them. Now you can buy them at Ken Byron. I mean, if you hurry real quick, I'm sure they'll sell out over time. He's selling them for about $37, which is what I paid for this. So that's Ken Byron Ventures. I saw he had some. It's a great little pipe though, for those reasons. Cool, dry, smoke all of the tobacco. And I don't think I've ever smoked all of the tobacco in a briar before, or a cob. Now somebody's gonna say, I have all the time. That may be your experience, but it hasn't been my experience. And I'm really happy with this, that I'm able to do that now. But are there any downsides to this pipe? As I was saying, you either do or you don't like the metal. I got the standard bit, and I learned later that the standard bit is pretty thin, and I was told to get another type of bit, and I'd have to go back and look and see what the other type of bit is. But I end up putting a softy bit on mine so I can hold on to it, because it feels like it's going to slip out of my mouth without it. But that is no big deal for me. I don't like softy bits on a standard pipe because it makes the bit too big, but this one just makes it just right. It feels a little awkward. The balance of the pipe is a little bit clunky because all of the weight is out here on the end, but for me, it's not a big deal. I've gotten used to it. It's not something that's going to stop me from smoking it. And it may just be because it's something new to me. But I would say that's the main drawback of this pipe: the appearance and the balance of the pipe. Balance of the pipe feels a little... I don't normally smoke a straight stem pipe. I generally smoke, and they do make them with a little bit of a bend. I couldn't get one with this shillelagh, but I might get one later, and it has a slight bend on the bit, so that kind of hangs a little bit better. And I think I might like that as well, maybe a little more. But a good briar pipe, made either by a good company or a good artisan, is gonna take into consideration the proportions and the hang and the feel of the pipe in your mouth. And this one isn't terrible. It's just, for me, it's a little different because I'm not used to this. The stem is super lightweight, and the only weight there is just that briar bowl. And so it feels a little bit different than my other pipes, but I'm quickly getting used to it, and I really enjoy it. The other drawback to it is that if that bit ever breaks, it's done. It's not a replaceable bit. You can't take that off. It is built in, so you're stuck with it. And if it breaks, I don't know if anybody can fix them or not. But I assume you can't. So I've only had it a short period of time. We'll see, and I'll let you guys know what I think as time progresses with it. But right now, I'm very happy with it. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but I'll mention it again. I get a very long smoke out of these. People say, oh, they're short, they're small, you don't get a very long smoke out of them. The other night, I was in a roundtable discussion meeting with some other pipers, and we started at 7. I was using a bowl similar to this one, but not this one. Is that the only one? No, this one, I'm sorry. That's the third one. I was using one similar to this, except it was smooth, and I got 2 hours out of that smoke, and that's pretty amazing. And I attribute it all to that hole in the bottom, being able to smoke every bit of that tobacco. It's always staying dry, and the stem in that keeps it cool, and just the general design keeps it a nice, cool, sweet smoke. So if you're thinking about a Falcon, you can't go wrong. I mean, if you buy it overseas, you get it cheaper. Even with shipping, it's cheaper to buy it overseas Cost you about $18 for the stem, cost you about $18 for a bowl. I got a set of bowls that cost me, I forget exact amount, but it was around maybe $150 after shipping and everything. 9 bows for $150. So I mean, if you think about a briar pipe, one briar pipe could cost you $150, and you can only smoke that, you know, once, maybe twice, and then you got to give it a rest. With these, you just screw off that bowl, and this is hot right now, but I can take that bowl off and it's no problem, and you can put it back on, and that's not going to break anything. So you could switch out bowls. If you were puffing one right after the other, you could technically use that same stem, clean it up, and it'd be fine, ready to go. So altogether, I spent maybe, for the bowl set, on the shillelagh, I ended up paying more because I paid $37 for one stem. I got 2 of them. So I came up to, after taxes, I think somewhere in the neighborhood of close to $80. And then the bowl was $150. So we're looking about $230 for technically 9 pipes, 2 stems, 9 bows, which I thought was a pretty good deal. All this talking, I'm letting my pipe go out. Do I recommend them? Yes, I recommend them. Is it for everybody? No, it's not for everybody. You know, in terms of practicality and just smoking, it's a great pipe. In terms of fashion, what it is you like fashionably about a pipe. Do you like the wood? You have to have a briar. Some people are like that. And if you do, that's okay. But if you don't, you might want to try a Falcon. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Bye.